This is my part 3 for my writing project 1 on liberal arts education. I'm just gonna now go through what I have gone over on the paper and what conclusions I've come from. I first started that with the belief that it made much more sense to study vocational training while in the university over liberal arts. The first article I read was the CQ, and after hearing both sides, I saw that there were advantages and disadvantages to both. After reading Hirsch's article entitled Intentions and Perceptions, a National Survey of Public Attitudes for Liberal Arts Education, Hirsch showed statistics that showed that many people don't even know what liberal arts education is, the purpose of it, why you have it, and therefore don't value its importance. This was actually right off the bat new information that I never realized before going on the project. It made definitely a whole new perspective on the issue. Definitely, it set the tone for the rest of my progress. I, originally thought that most people just chose that, not to do liberal arts education because there's no, clear jobs for it after. And so definitely, after reading that, I definitely had a lot more to think about. Next, I looked at Murray's article titled "Too Many Young People Going to College." He explains that just because people can get a college education doesn't mean they should. Especially with liberal arts education, he doesn't seem to think that like everyone that has the potential should. I agreed with him on this principle. After that, I read Chavez's article called "The Higher Education Bubble" and wrote about how people see the liberal arts degree as not something, as like basically something that won't get you a job, and that college is made for getting a job, and that'll get you, a financially secure job afterwards. I definitely agreed before that financial security is definitely a big motivator for whether people decide to have a liberal arts education or vocational research. After that, I read the Students' Experiences with Diversity at Liberal Arts College, another claim for distinctness, that was written by Umberto Eco, and explains the benefits received for having a diverse environment at a liberal school. Their argument was that the environment of a diverse environment basically makes you like a more well-rounded person and more like farther in life. I understood that, but I didn't really see the differences between a liberal arts diverse environment and used diverse environment. And they basically would counteract my argument with that the program is geared towards specifically creating this diverse unity, which obviously view that's an aspect of it, but it's not. But that didn't really persuade me to think that that was really an advantage of going to a liberal arts school. So after that, I read Rosca and Levy's article titled "What You Can Do with That Degree." They explain that the traits you learn with a liberal arts degree will advance your career a lot farther. Basically, that there's certain there's some group training and organizational skills and all and different things that you get when you get a liberal arts degree. And that basically you can't get that through the vocational training. This definitely made me reconsider what I originally thought. Definitely now that also, in my real life, now that I've been applying to internships for the summer, I'm trying to work at a job, living social. I've seen that, that those are the things they look for, things like creativity and teamwork. That is the real thing, and that definitely did change my opinion a little bit, but it still bothers me that the potential for jobs you can go do is still so much less. So last, I looked at Rust's article, "The Utility of a Liberal Arts Education, Concepts and Arguments for Use in Academic Advising." And he basically argued that there are 5 most important traits you need, which is being persuasive, charismatic, rational, analytical, well-rounded, adaptable, and worldly wise. And that's what managers are basically looking for. If you don't have these skills, you're not looking for them. You can only get them through the liberal arts. And after reading that didn't convince me at all. I basically said that these types of skills, can be found anywhere. Maybe liberal arts does give that to you, but for the most part, I'm sure, at SMG, I know my friends that are in the School of Management definitely are getting that skills. They learn skills like that. And he then basically concludes that that like both are. He basically says he kind of I reached the conclusion that while sure that these skills are important to get a job, I think that Russ didn't prioritize which one's more important first. I think that if these are skills that you need, that means that you should be doing vocational subjects, and then mix in some of these liberal arts traits into it. I think the vocational should come first, and the liberal arts should come second. After doing all this research, I found that most of my assumptions that the liberal arts education was constant, which is that I did find out that basically very few students are choosing right now to go into liberal arts. That was one of my questions at the beginning. There are less jobs available after getting a liberal arts degree. I also found out that the pros of a liberal. I also found out that what are the pros of a liberal arts degree. I was trying to find out that that obviously it's these skills that you receive. But the part that definitely surprised me the most was Hirsch's findings from the beginning on how little people know about the liberal arts degree. Like, I always assumed that people understood the difference between liberal arts and vocational and made a rational choice. And his findings basically are showing that like adults and and definitely high school students just really don't even know the difference, and they can't even be expected to make a choice the difference between the two because they don't actually know what liberal arts is. If I were to continue my research, I think that would be the part I investigate more into is why people don't know what liberal arts education is, where it's stemming from. I would try to find more sources like what we have in this paper, with people like me talking about why, people, high schools and things aren't translating over what liberal arts is and the importance, why we basically are in this mode now where we only do vocational degrees, that we feel like we have to do something that's specifically towards a profession. I would definitely go and speak to high school administrators and career counselors and see what they're advising kids, because what my hypothesis would be is that it's probably stemming